Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel, and what I have here for you today is the AKASO F250S Racing Quadcopter. That's the name that's listed on the website TabletExpress, who sent me one of these, but I also bought one of these because I love it so much. And this is my entry into the professional quadcopter world, because all I've done is play with toys, and this is a real carbon fiber entry-level racing quadcopter. And if you've never flown one of these before, you're going to have an experience that is incredible. Now, normally these guys cost a lot of money, but right now at TabletExpress, and I put the link below, you can get this for, wait for it, because this still blows my mind. That's why I personally bought another one. $135.99. For those of you who are into quadcopters, you're going to find that obviously amazing. For those of you who are not, prepared to be amazed if you get this. Now, you could also get it on Amazon, but it runs $169.99, still a great price, and I went ahead and put the link below if you're interested in that. So let's go ahead and open this up, and as I take the parts out, I'm going to sort of give you prices of what all these things cost individually, and if you were to try to build one of these, which a lot of people do, you're going to come out well over $200, but let's take a look at what you get. Well, the box is so big it's not going to fit on my table, so you have to trust me when I say I'm opening the box. See? And go ahead and get this open. Alright. So the first thing we have is, there you are, the manual, which you really need to read. Trust me. I have a cut finger to prove that it's worth reading that manual. As a matter of fact, it's healing now mostly, but I still have a nail cut there. Read the instructions, and I'll tell you why. Look at that. You got the quadcopter. We're going to go over all these parts. This is going to be a little bit of a long video, and you also get, because I'm sure you wanted to know, you get the controller. So let's take a look. We'll go ahead and pull this guy out. Packed really good, really good. There's also a power cord hidden in there. But let's look up what the price is. For one of these controllers, it is I think it was like $57 for the 6-channel controller that you see right here. Now, it doesn't come with batteries, so in order to put batteries in this thing, you'll just pop that open and put 4 AA batteries in there. And you know, nothing to write home about, just an average 6-channel. You get some toggles up here, but read the instructions. I do know that putting this back here is auto leveling and forward is rate. So what I mean by rate is when you push the quadcopter and start going forward, it'll keep on going forward until you pull a little back on here and get it to level back. Whereas auto leveling, you push it forward. When you let go, it'll come back level. This guy, I'm not quite sure, and the instructions are not super clear. You can read the instructions, see if you can make sense of it. So that's your controller. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, and we'll take a look at what's in here, because you get a lot of stuff. You get the battery charger. The battery charger, I didn't even look the value of this up, but we'll get into it. We got extra props, which is very important, because if you never flown one of these before, believe me, you need it. But I can tell you that these things are so tough that I mean, I've crashed the other quadcopter I got here so many times, and these are amazing. They're not like super high quality, but they are tough, and these run $10 for a set of props. You get a battery batteries like this, which is, see, I didn't put everything in the order that I'm going through this. This is a 3-cell 1800 milliamp hour LiPo battery. You could get one of these for about 15 bucks. Like I said, you get 2 sets of props, so altogether you'll get like 4 baggies of props. See, there's even more props in here. Underneath the props you get a Phillips screwdriver, and you get 2 down here Allen keys right there. Those are worth, you know, maybe a couple of cents. And you get the quadcopter itself. This is in really tight, so I'm going to go ahead and carefully pull this up. There we go. And check that quadcopter out. Go ahead and zoom in. So what you're looking at is a quadcopter, and it's kind of hard to see. Let's see, if you sort of look down in here, I'm going to see if I can bring some light in there. You can see a board. That board, for those of you who are into the quadcopters, that's an OpenPilot CC3D board. That means you can use the OpenPilot software and modify all the flight parameters and everything. So you could use open source free software to sort of change roll rates and all kinds of stuff. So this is not some sort of crippled entry-level thing. This has the board that most people use, a professional style board, and that's the one with SBUS. That board, the heart of this thing, runs about $25, that motherboard. You can see they put the USB connectors in the back. Could be a little bit hard to get to. You got a carbon fiber body, nothing to write home about 15 bucks. These motors, they sort of look like the EMAX motors. They are the D2204 kV 2300 motors. You get 4 of them. That normally would run about, you know, 25 bucks. Nice and smooth, brushless. Go ahead and just price how much it costs for a brushless complete quadcopter, and you're going to probably come up at this price if it's a toy. But you're not getting a toy. You're getting a real carbon fiber entry-level racing thing. You're not going to do like professional racing with this, but trust me, this thing is a hoot. I already said props run about $10. The motors have to be controlled with these boards. You can see 2 here, 2 here on the other side. Those boards are known as ESCs. I guess those are electronic speed controllers or something like that. They control the speed of the motor. So the computer is going to, I guess, change the signal or amount of power that'll supply to the motor, and then each individual motor will spin at whatever speed you're telling it to with the transmitter, the controller. Now there's also a receiver in here that can receive the stuff that the remote control thing says, 2.4 gigahertz. That'll run you $8. By the way, 4 of those ESCs run about another 25 bucks. The battery, I said, was $15. The frame, I think I said, was $15, and you can see this is already adding up to about $200. You also, you know, they throw in the charger. I forgot to mention, they give you lights that illuminate, and I'll show off those things. You got some legs right here. There is a power distribution board down in there somewhere. That's going to run some money too. And I'm giving you the price of it disassembled. Now, they assembled this all together and it works out of box. All you got to do is put the props on, charge the battery, and off you go. So, factory assembled, ready to go for $135 is truly an incredible price. One other thing to mention before we start getting this up in the air, you can see on the front there's like a blank here that's used to hold a camera, so you can FPV. This model does not come with it, but I think like in $160, $170 price range on TabletExpress, you could get one that's an FPV, which means you're flying it as if you're sitting in it, and you could watch. They add a screen up here, and you can sort of fly it as if you were sitting on the quadcopter, which is important because when you're flying this, it's not that big, and when it gets out, you know, 20-30 yards, it starts getting hard to see, and you can easily lose orientation and where you're going, and that's the learning curve with this. That's tricky. Now, props. How do you put the props on? Really simple. You just stick one of these Allen keys into the motor, and you just turn this guy like this, and you take off the cap, and you put a prop on. Turning, whoops. So you just stick one of these props on there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the other quadcopter that I've been flying and crashing all over the place, just so you can see what the props look like once you put them on. Now I do have some other modifications on this guy, but I just want you to see how the props look, so you can see the forward edge, you know, where they are. So if you want to use my video to figure out how to orientate your props, here you go. This is the back, the front is up here, so you can sort of look and see, because these motors sort of counter rotate, so they would be spinning in this direction for these guys, and for these guys they're spinning like this. Okay, so I do have a charged battery, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it on this one, and this is something I added so you could ignore that piece of Velcro. So all you do to put the battery on is you take your battery, and you see it already has Velcro on the bottom of the battery, and we strap it on there just like that, and then all you're going to do is plug it in. You can see how these two look the same, so you're going to plug it in. Now you got to charge it out of the box, so to charge it, which I already charged this battery, and you can see that I've been wrecking this one. This is the one I've been flying. I got a lot of funny video. I don't want to give it away. Learning with this thing, but I'm going to go ahead and plug this charger in, and you can see it's going to indicate, because this has 3 cells in it, see 1, 2, 3, it's going to tell you the, you know, if it's red or green, if it's needs charging or it's fully charged. Now this battery should be fully charged, so when I plug this connector in, you can see it's all green. Now if I take the battery that I just pulled out of the box, here it is, and I plug it into this charger. Whoops, it's keyed luckily, so idiots like me can't put it in the wrong way. You can see it's all red. It takes hours and hours and hours to charge these things. They are not fast, so don't expect to run right out and fly. It's going to take, I guess, 2 or 3 hours to get this all charged up. So plan accordingly. Alright, now it looks like that this charger can handle a different type of battery too, so you can take a look at the connectors there, what they look like. All pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just, and I like that they gave you the Allen keys and the stuff, because you could disassemble this. You could go online and buy all kinds of parts, or you could build your own parts, and I could talk about the mods that I've done to this one, because I've crashed it quite a few times, and I'll tell you, it's amazing the amount of abuse this guy can take, speaking from personal experience. So I went ahead, and here's my other quadcopter, my other transmitter controller right here. Make sure this is all the way back on this side before you start anything, and we'll go ahead and push this all the way back, because this is auto leveling and this is rate, so you want to definitely have this. So this one I'm not too sure of. The instructions say something about auto stabilization on this side and rate on this side, but I don't know. I did find out I could do a barrel roll, but I don't know how I did it, and the results you'll see in a video coming up, because it wasn't very pretty. So what you do is you take your once it's charged up, you take your connector, pop it in there, and watch out for these props here. Now it's not going to kick on right away, but make sure you, first of all, you get these cables tucked in really good, because you don't want your props to cut those cables. So that's one really important thing. Now if you notice, I got an extra Velcro here. That's because I put a Mobius 2 camera on there, which we'll talk about in a future video, because I wanted to get a lot of video from the actual quadcopter. You could see the lights, red in the front, green in the back. Not quite sure why they did that, but that's what they did. So that helps you keep orientation when it's dark, and actually when it's cloudy you can see them pretty easy too. Only in direct sunlight you will not see it. Now, like I said, probably start out with auto stabilization. So you want to put this guy back here, and you're going to turn this guy on just like that. Now you're going to see, I'm going to just push this forward a little bit, and you're going to see it's not going to do anything because you have to arm it. So what you do is you press this guy to the lower right like that for about a couple of seconds, and now you are armed. See that? Now the important thing, the real important thing, is before messing with this, like I shouldn't even be touching it, you want to disarm it. So to disarm it, you're going to take this guy and hold it like this for a couple seconds. And then double check and make sure. Then put your hands on the quadcopter. So if you crash it and you go to reach down, those props could start and cut your finger. And you can see the marks. I actually had a couple of cuts here from some props which healed. It took about a week to get to this point. And then I read the instructions and found out that you disarm like that. So I wrecked 2 fingers so you don't have to. You also have trim controls here, 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 here. So this will, as I push forward, this will make the props go faster and go up and down, and then you go this back and forth, and it will make the helicopter or quadcopter do that. Then this one, as you move it, will make it, if I push forward, it'll make it go forward. Pull the stick, it'll make it come back. Go this way, it'll translate left. Go this way, it will translate right. Now if you want to like move forward and fly like a plane and sort of bank, bank and turn, you have to learn how to do coordinated flight. So you're going to be trying to push a little forward, and then you're going to be trying to use a little left rudder and trying to bank just to get it to do that. So there's a learning curve. There is a learning curve. So start out close to the ground, and just start out close to the ground, trust me, and don't go fast. And it doesn't take much forward motion on the stick to get this thing to disappear really quick. I've talked a lot, but I haven't showed you any video of me flying. So I'm going to show you some video, and then after the very first takeoff, I switch to this Mobius 2 camera. I'll let you take a peek at it, because maybe I'll do it in a future video if any of you are interested. Let me tell you, this camera is absolutely incredible. So during the flight, I actually had this camera sort of up here. I had another Velcro holding it back here and some foam in between, but just so you know what was going on. So when you see the video of this taking off, this camera is on here just like this. So there you go. It's, just in case you noticed, this is a little different because I've already modified 2 of these arms because I've wrecked them. This is a $15 frame, so it's not the best in the world, and it didn't take the abuse of a learner like me. Everything else amazingly held up. But I'll show you what I did after the video. Let's get to the video. Alright, so here I am, the first time flying. It's okay, I can do this. I'm adjusting my camera while with the controller, but there I am sort of flying, and immediately it gets so far I lose orientation because it's so small, and poof, it's wrecked at the first flight. So then I got it back up in the air, and I'm like, okay, I'm finally getting this, and I get a little ballsy, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to try coordinated flight where I'm sort of banking and turning a little bit, and let's get it up in the air, and then I'm going to try to dive it myself. So here I am diving, and then all of a sudden I got a lot of speed, and I'm like, oh man, let me try to get this down, and then I'm backing up and, you know, trying to figure things out. I'm like, alright, let me try to keep this lower. So just trying to do the coordinated banking turn, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting this again, I can do this, I'll do a couple of circles, everything is pretty cool, right? And then it's getting kind of fast, and it's getting faster, and I'm like, okay, let me, oh, I'm gonna hit the ground, and then it does this roll. I don't know what I did. I put the lever all the way over, and then did a barrel roll, and then all of a sudden it's so high, and I can't see it. I don't know where it's going, and here comes the tree line, and yeah. So that was like the second flight up in the air. It's hanging in a tree. So then I spent a good 45 minutes trying to find it, and eventually I found it, and found a really big stick. And you know, dropped it out of the tree. It assessed the damage. What a first outing experience. So, you know, next couple of days I took it out, tried to take myself out there, and just slowly learn how to fly this thing. Thinking to myself, I'm glad this thing ain't a $500 quadcopter. I'm glad I'm learning with this more inexpensive one. So, you know, fun. Just, it's so much fun and relaxing once you get comfortable with it. And again, flight time 10 to 14 minutes. Really cool. Coming at so you can see I'm a little dressed up there. I was getting ready to go to work. I stopped off at a local park. Just you start out with a lot of space. That's all I got to say. Make sure you got a lot of space where you can't hit anything. There I am. I'll tell you, you got to put a camera on these things. I recommend the Mobius too. If you guys want to see a review, let me know, and I'll do a review on this camera because it's really incredible. No. There we go, I landed on its real legs. The Mobius 2, I have it mounted, and it's really just strapped to it with no dampening or nothing. So pretty amazing footage for something that is just strapped to it. I think it's 1080p. Really amazing. It could do up to 60 frames a second. So here I am. I'm still trying to get it. Having some fun. I gotta make sure I, you know, show this off really good. And there I do a little sliding landing. Those legs are not really made. It's really cool when you can see the shadow of the quadcopter as you're sort of flying along. Again, try to start closer to the ground first. Don't go too high, because if things go south and you lose orientation, you'll lose the quadcopter. So here I am. I'm trying to just sort of swing it around the back. And I nearly hit a pole. Don't stand next to poles when you're controlling if you're doing this too, I recommend. But just so cool. So I'm going to practice more. I'm probably going to put another video out there, just flying around having fun with this. And eventually put some FPV stuff on here. Because then you don't have to worry about orientation, because it's like you're sitting on it. But this is where you want to start first before you start doing FPV stuff, trust me. And you want to get like a goggles, because you won't see a screen outside. And here I am actually landing from my camera view. And you know, everything you just saw was on that little guy. The next thing is, it's entry level and it's inexpensive. By the way, I recommend you don't do that in your house unless you've had some flight time with this, because it will tear up furniture and it can break all kinds of things, including bodily functions, if you try to fly it in the house for the first time and you've never flown anything like this. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. This is not a toy. This is a real quadcopter, brushless, powerful motors. It's incredible. But why would you get this and not go to go to the store and get one of those professional quadcopters? Have you seen the price? $300, $400, $500. Yes, you get GPS and stuff, but you know what? A lot of that kind of gets overwhelming at first. I think that this is a really good choice to get into professional grade, entry level, real, not toy, carbon fiber quadcopters. I think this is a good choice. I would hate to go to the store and spend $500 to $1,000 on one of those quadcopters, and the first flight, which for me, first flight, put it into a tree. We have to knock it down with a stick and break something. You will have a lump in your throat if what you saw just happened with your $500 to $1,000 quadcopter, which it can happen. Especially if you have no experience. And I personally have a lot of experience with the toys, but it's a whole different game with this. So this is incredible, and again, you could use this as a base to build upon. You could put your own FPV stuff in there. You can put your own cameras on there. You could get a different frame and put it on different frames. Like, I'm not a big fan of the little legs that they have on here. So you might want to get longer legs. You could buy some longer screw-on doodads if you wanted to. But I would put some sort of sled or sticks or something like that on there. But you could do anything you want, because it's all standard screwed together, torque screw and Phillips screw construction. Now, of course, I have a lot of equipment in my garage. Excuse me. And I actually, you're going to love this. I'm going to show you one of the arms that I took out. Whoops. Alright. Carbon fiber. You know what? The strongest carbon fiber in the world can't put up with what I did. And when that thing hit the tree, it did just tear one of those off because it hit it hard. So you can see, but that's 3 mil thick carbon fiber. $15 frame altogether. So don't expect top quality carbon fiber here, but still carbon fiber. So one of the one I was just flying, not the new one out of the box. Where'd it go? Here it is. Which one is it? This arm right here is this. I actually made an arm out of aluminum. I went to Lowe's. I found some 3mm thick aluminum and used the old one to trace it out and drilled some holes in it, and actually made a arm. But it took a very long time. I would recommend that you go to AliExpress. I talked to the folks at TabletExpress. I asked them, hey, how about putting parts on your site? And they said that they were going to talk to, I guess, the boss and get some parts on there. So hopefully they'll do that. Oh, and one other thing, TabletExpress. Again, $135.99. If you buy two, the price goes down and buy more. Here's another big thing, and I should have mentioned this right up front. Shipping is not coming from China. It's coming from Maryland. It came from Maryland. So it's not having to come halfway around the world. So, you might say, oh, well, I could buy all these parts and everything in AliExpress, but they're going to come from China and take a very long time. This TabletExpress is coming from Maryland. So that's amazing. Now, I can't remember what shipping was. I don't think there's different levels of shipping, and I I don't want to say for sure, but I believe that base shipping is free and regular post office shipping, but then you have the options for faster shipping, and it's all reasonable, normal shipping, local U.S. in the U.S. It's freaking awesome. I love it when things are here. At least for me. I don't know about you, but for me it's great. So, man, here's the one, the new one that I haven't read yet. This is an extraordinary deal. I mean, by the way, this is the receiver right here. It does sort of just sort of hang right there, just so you know when you get it, and you'll say, hey, there's a loose board there. No, that's the way they are, just like that. I talked to the manufacturer. That's the way they are. But man, this is an amazing buy. Again, all the parts unassembled would cost you over $200. You're getting it assembled for $135. Amazon $161. You can't beat this one with a baseball bat. So if you were looking for a professional brushless entry-level racing quad, a 250, this is it. This is it. This is it. Do not. I'm gonna not say anything else. Do not, because I'm glad I didn't, go to the store and get a $500, $600, or $700 quadcopter as your first professional grade quadcopter, because you will cry when you run that into a tree or run it into the ground and it's all that money. This is the place to start. Trust me, this is what you want to start with. TabletExpress, link is below. Really good folks. I'm impressed. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me here at Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.